My name is Michael Coppage. I am a conceptual artist, and I'm working with Louisville Visual Arts to produce an installation at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage titled The Rotunda of the Ancestors.
The Rotunda area is actually the area that you go through before you come into the main hall, which we call the Brown-Forman Great Hall. So when we proposed this mural project, we proposed it with the idea of venerating our ancestors.
I heard about the Artist Catalyst program from a fellow friend and artist here in Louisville. She told me about an opportunity. I applied and I did not get it. And the second year, I was awarded the Artist Catalyst grant from Louisville Visual Art. When I received the Artist Catalyst grant, I don't think I understood how involved it was going to be. Initially, I was really excited about being awarded an opportunity to actually come down to the region and make work. Louisville had been one of those places where I hadn't shown any work, and it just seemed like really great timing.
We felt that Michael Coppage was the artist that could give us what we needed to be represented in the Rotunda of the Ancestors.
I think what connects my prior work to the work here at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage is the conceptual aspect.
One of the reasons why the Kentucky Center of African American Heritage wanted him so much is because he already had so much experience working with community and working with changing certain people's mentalities on certain aspects of people within communities such as Black communities or LGBT communities. He was already had his feet so deep in working with creating social change and having his artwork be a place where folks who may not normally be listened to were able to be heard, were able to have their perspectives be seen. Within Louisville, he's been able to not only work with the Kentucky Center of African American Heritage, but he's also been able to work with the Pan-African Studies Department of the University of Louisville. He's been able to work with some elementary school, middle schools within our community as well, such as the Grace James Academy. He's been able to really partner with so many different people to create this artwork.
The pieces that I've created have a similar aesthetic to the work that's hanging in the center currently, and that was deliberate. It's this banner style, but it's not necessarily a banner. The work that I've created for the center is inspired by work that is hanging in the center, but also kind of informed by a timeline that's in the center that houses the 9,000-year span of African American history on the planet. I've only gone back 3,000 years, but it was a huge piece of the final decision to create the images for the Rotunda.
The selection of the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage was a really exciting opportunity to work with an institution that was really about creating opportunities for Black folks of African descent in the neighborhood and showcasing that art while also educating people on that history. For this particular catalyst, we were looking to see if there was an institutional partner whose resources, network, and space would not just be a host for the public art piece, but also be a voice and an asset in the generation of the work.
So the work here at the center is a combination of photography. That photography was combined with community-led and community-driven information related to figures of history from the 3,000 years before slavery happened.
The day of the photography shoot was amazing because I had an opportunity to see visual artists and photography. I had been in many photo sessions before, but again, to become a part of a process was amazing. It was amazing watching the other models, people from the community that were chosen to translate back into this seemingly artificial intelligent artistry, because seeing painting on a canvas as opposed to the person themselves becoming the canvas was a unique experience. And when I became a part of it and was instructed by Michael Coppage through technology, because he wasn't actually in the room.
During the day that we took all of the photographs, I wasn't able to be present, so I FaceTimed in essentially, and I got to meet everyone who we photographed. I got to talk to the photographer and my project manager, and the only thing that I couldn't do was physically help direct people or physically support people in a way that helped make the event more efficient. I took all of that information combined with the photographs and combined it all in an AI environment. And the AI environment created images based on the photos that we took of people who live in Louisville, with all of the descriptive elements that we added, and we created a through line in history from the past to the present. So I hope that what people see is people who are alive today, embodying the spirit of people who lived in our past.
We are descendants of African people, and you have descendants of Africans all over the world, especially in this hemisphere. We find it important to tell all of our stories. You find that our story is misrepresented in the mainstream media. We're constantly seeing ourselves depicted in very negative and improper ways. So what we're trying to do is to change that paradigm so that we can begin to, number one, create our own imagery, but also to produce and distribute our own imagery.
The whole goal of this project was to create a Black narrative unrelated to the traumatic enslavement experience. This piece is about Black excellence, and it's about Black pride. I would hope that for LVA, the work represents a diverse approach to creating an installation.
LVA is providing a necessary service to make sure that people's creativity moves forward.
When folks come to the center, I hope that they see themselves reflected. I hope that they see the spirit of our ancestors embodied in these images. I hope that it prompts them to go on a journey to learn more about the figures who are represented in the space. I hope that they feel small in the space, like they're surrounded by giants, because a lot of the folks who are represented in the Rotunda were giants. These are the folks who created the keystones to the foundation of civilization.